You just like I'm in the McDonald's theme song for some reason.
Yeah, I think I was stuck in my head for some reason. Anyway, we're live now. Welcome everybody to the Big Red Ramble Triumphant Return edition with Xbox One. This is an Xbox One.
Ooh,
That's a thing. This is my home screen.
It's shiny.
It is. Xbox, sign out. It's not doing anything. Kinect is as reliable as usual. Xbox.
Oh, Kinect.
How do I sign out? Sign out. There we go. Alright. Close. So I want to try and just... I'm not going to do the Xbox off, Xbox on thing. But stop listening. Stop listening. Sometimes it takes 2 goes. Yeah, so I just want to show you how quick and easy it is to sign in. Now, I've heard about this whole facial recognition thing. I don't know how to use that. So what I do is say, Xbox. Xbox. Sign in as Kevin. Boom. There we go. Okay, so we're in. This is the home screen. Pac-Man Polar Bear's here with me.
What's going on, everybody?
Sorry, that took me a while to introduce you then.
That's okay. I'm just here to live vicariously through you until I get a new console to play with. And the stream is dark again.
Dark?
Yeah, it's gone gray and it just is loading video.
I've got it coming through on mine.
What the balls?
And we got some peeps in the chat. Hi, chat. Right, let's have a quick tour of the Xbox One. Pac-Man, have you got your stream back up? You might want to reload the page, mate.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that.
Okay, you go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I'm going to say, right, what are the differences? There's a lot. This looks a lot like Windows 8. Here is a smorgasbord of stuff that you never really want to use. Controlling this machine with a controller is a complete nightmare. By the way, I've got a hangover and a cold, so my voice is going to be a bit weird.
There we go.
Alright, so yeah, the home screen. You got your profile over here. That takes you over to friends and whatnot. The difference is with friends this time is you've got friends who are essentially people you're following and followers who are people who are just following you but you haven't started following them yet. It's a bit weird. They've kind of turned it into Twitter. And you've got the feed over here. As you can see, Tim's been up to a lot of stuff in Rise. Apparently he really likes that game. So that's cool. That is essentially the friends thing. And the quickest and easy way to get to that is to go, Xbox, go to friends. Xbox, go to friends. There we go. I think I have to be a little more pronounced. I always do that on the second time around. Xbox, go home. No, don't go to followers. Stop listening. God, you need to remember to do that stop listening thing, I tell you. Right, over to the right here, we have the store. Games, movies and TV, music, apps. In terms of apps, I don't know what the American one really looks like for obvious reasons, but it's got all the ones you need for what we have in the UK. There's a weird thing called Crackle that is some TV streaming service with apparently every single terrible movie that no one's ever heard of. And that's
just think you have to pay for Xbox Live to get access to all these apps, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them.
Well, Netflix being the worst
Netflix does need the gold barrier, yeah. But with Xbox Live Gold comes a lot of extra stuff. Like, for example, you do get... I'm just going to roll over to my pins here. This is the easiest way to set up your home screen, by the way. You can choose any app and pin it to home just by finding it in your apps. I was telling Pac-Man before the stream, there's this thing over here called My Games and Apps that's just a smorgasbord of horrid, where there's no categorization between games, apps, and settings. It's just, look, store, Twitch, achievements, Upload Studio, Party, Killer Instinct, Crackle, Netflix, TV, Messages, Activity set. Where's the order? Internet Explorer is right down here in the bottom right. Like, it's disgusting.
That's ridiculous.
It's disgusting. So that when you install something new, go straight into here, press the menu button, go down to pin to home, and pin it to home. Easiest way to do it. And then you never have to go back into that screen again. And obviously you can use Connect to launch these apps as well, and that's really quick and easy when it does work.
when it works.
Yeah, which to be fair, it's quite reliable.
Yeah. So basically, you know, it's only as good as the time you take to make it good.
Yeah.
You gotta go in there and spend a day or two. Just
I mean, you can see here once you've got your pins sorted out and keep on top of it, way easier. Now all of my most used apps are over here. So right now I've got like FIFA 14, Killer Instinct, Battlefield 4, and Dead Rising 3, all just hanging out. FIFA 14 I got for free because they did that with the Day 1 edition in Europe. Killer Instinct is a free-to-play game, and the character you get for free is apparently, I don't know anything about fighting games, but it's the character you want to use. Battlefield 4 and Dead Rising 3 I paid for yesterday, and I've got like Twitch and YouTube. Xbox Fitness is actually an app that you can download for free, and we'll have a look at this now, just to get out of the way. You can download this for free, and as long as you've got your Xbox Live Gold subscription, a bunch of these videos are free to you. So it's pretty cool. If you're into the whole fitness in front of your TV thing, they've got P90X videos, they've got Insanity videos, they've got like 10 to 20 minute cardio burn videos, and the Kinect will monitor all your biometrics while you're doing it, and tell you how well you're doing it. You can just go browse library over here.
So, which means that sooner or later someone's gonna have it taking their biometrics while they're doing it, so they can see their stats.
That would be pretty funny. Well, you got tons of these videos here that you can just fitness along to. Some of them are still there to be bought. I guess that's for like extra versions of each thing, but there's still so many that are free with just gold service.
Look at all those people and look at all those abs.
All those fit people. And this whole thing obviously comes with achievements. So if you
of course it does.
If you're one of those people who are going for every achievement on the system, yeah, you'll have to get fit. I haven't actually done my fitness profile yet, and I know I'm not going to do it live right now. This is a good opportunity to show you how quickly you can just zoom from any app you're in back to the home screen, and that's just press of a button. There you go. That carries on in the preview window there, and we're back on the home screen. So that's pretty cool. We've also got Xbox Snap. Is it doing it? No. Xbox Snap. There we go. And now I've got my Snap apps. So weirdly, Skype is not a Snap app. Or is it? No, it's not. And I think that's really weird. You can get your party chat going on, but as of right now, I have not gotten party chat to work at all.
See, what I don't understand is Microsoft spent a lot of money to get Skype. I figured it would play a really prominent role in
the party
everything.
Chat uses the Skype codec. So they're absolutely using the tech, and you can get Skype as an app. The problem is that because it's not a Snap app, you can't just go Snap and get the preview window thing pop up with the third of the screen or whatever it is. What you have to do is say Xbox go to Skype, and then you'll have to go into the separate application to do all your Skype stuff, then switch back to your current application. So it can be multitasked, but it's a lot more annoying than just snapping it. And then obviously we've got Skype, Netflix, YouTube over here, Twitch. Upload Studio is pretty cool. This is where you upload all of your game clip things through the DVR. Xbox unsnap. Xbox unsnap. Apparently it does require 2 times every time. Stop listening. There we go. Okay. So over here, this is the Upload Studio. So whenever you record something to game DVR, which you can do at any time by just saying Xbox record that in a game, it'll take... Oh, it's just... Yeah, I don't want to do it. See, I don't want it to do it, and suddenly it's asking me, oh, I detected that. There's no game running. Right.
This is one of the things I was most happy to see is the ability to start editing our clips before we post them online or send them out, because the PS4 has this as well, but I haven't used that. So how are you I wonder how easy this is. Like how quickly you could get it done. It looks quick.
It's really simple. You can just trim a clip. You can do a picture-in-picture where you can record yourself with Connect and have that as a sort of overlay of the picture. You can bookend something, or you can it's like Connect clip followed by gameplay clip followed by Connect clip, or you can just string clips together with multi-clip. I'm just going to go into the just trim thing for a second here. And then what you have a choice with is you can either record something with Connect or choose something from your game DVR. And I've got a few videos already in here. So when you actually record a clip, it records just as like, I don't know, Battlefield 4. But then I've gone in and said, right, I want to name this clip and edit it down a little bit. So then it comes out there. And I'm not going to go through editing a clip in its entirety here.
I do like this though. That's like, look how fast it started playing that video.
Yeah, and you can just record
That's
voiceover
sweet.
and stuff with it as well in post. You can add little effects to it. It's really good. It works really well. And then you can finally upload it just to the upload service for your friends to watch over Xbox, or you can do that plus add it to your SkyDrive, should you want it on your PC or whatever. So yeah, it's a neat little app. There's no getting around it. I will show you very quickly an example of gameplay that I captured. Xbox. Go to upload. Stop listening. Okay, so like, here's a video that I made yesterday in Battlefield 4, I think. And I thought this was one of the most impressive shots I may have ever taken in a shooting video game. So I decided, right, I'm going to capture that. There we go.
Nice.
Xbox, go to home. Okay. But yeah, that's the Upload Studio. It's pretty cool. What else is there to show around? So yeah, if you're into the game DVR stuff, it works really well. And while I've got the Kinect listening, if I could just say Xbox. Xbox. So while it's on here, a bunch of things can go green in the menu screen, and anything that is worded green is something the Xbox can recognize. So that's neat.
Cool.
All of the apps are like that. Right, so anyway, that's enough of all this business, I think. I'll show you the store quick, because the store's a bit of a nightmare to navigate as well. It's, once again, it's really bizarre. They've got featured stuff, they've got new releases, they've got the top games right now, popular games, things that are recommended for you based on what you've got in your achievements, I think. Not 100% sure how that's categorized. Top selling, top rated. It's all like a bunch of top 10 lists, and that's why I don't like it, because there isn't really a simple browse option. There's no browse all. There's just, here's a bunch of top 10 lists in different orders.
Yeah, it really is that.
So,
just one after another.
Yeah, so when it gets to the point where there's like hundreds of games available for this thing, how do they solve that problem?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I could go over to potentially new releases and go down to the Show All button, and then you'd be able to go through the latest releases like this, but it's just, it seems like a bit of a nightmare to navigate. And that's...
It's starting to... Go ahead.
No, that's my problem with this console thus far, is that as long as you're just using a controller and not using Kinect voice commands, it is a complete nightmare to navigate.
It really does sound like their focus is really on Kinect, and they really left everything else as sort of, you know, not second rate, but not as polished. And there's also there's a lot of rumors that the software side of the Xbox One was, you know, they weren't ready, that they were rushing it up the door.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's infinitely patchable and changeable. I mean, this whole setup, I doubt will look anything like this in a year.
Oh yeah, definitely. What we got going in the chat right now? Where's Dave? Dave is out with his special lady friend, I think. He's going to be around for the podcast a bit later, but he could not make it here. my Xbox is working to what he says. It's nothing like the commercial. No, it's not.
Microsoft commercials promising something they can't deliver yet? No. Like the Kinect, all the cool stuff for this Kinect, just like the last Kinect, is going to be stuff that people hack.
Yeah, most likely. Alright, let's have a look at some games. That seems like the way to go. Who wants to watch Battlefield 4 crash? No, this is not a singular problem with the Xbox One version. Every version of Battlefield 4 right now is unstable as shit. And the Xbox One deals with it by crashing you back to the home screen in an instant. But I will see if I can get into a game. I've not had the best of luck with it so far. I think I've managed to finish, from start to finish, like 2 games on Battlefield 4 so far. Yeah. Oh, one thing I will do quickly is show you that now that we're using dedicated servers, there's a flipping server browser on a console. And that is brilliant. Finally. Still, I'm just going to go into a quick match for now. See if this works. And it's nice to see, I mean, you won't see it over the stream, but it is nice to see that there is finally a console shooter other than Call of Duty running at 60 frames a second. It's lovely to watch. Oh, seems to be working. Although we've ended up in domination, not conquest, like I asked it to.
Man, I can't wait. Like, it's 5 more days. I gotta wait 5 more days.
Yeah,
God damn it! God damn it!
4 is almost upon us, and we will be back next week with another one of these episodes for the PS4. Alright, so it's Battlefield 4. I was about to call it 3 then. But
Objective Charlie is ours.
Battlefield 4. And it looks great.
Charlie.
It looks like the PC version. I mean, it's not 1080p, but on a screen across the living room, you're not going to notice that. That's one of those things where only a few people will notice the difference.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a setup like mine where you're sitting on a desk with the screen right in your face, it's easier to see that stuff. But look at that, this looks pretty goddamn good.
Nothing out there. Move back here.
Like you can already tell the differences between this and if you were playing on the 360. You can see the light effects.
Well, I mean, look at that light streaming through the tree here. It's stunning what they're managing to do with it now.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. Man, every time I go back to a Battlefield game, the first 3 days is just a nightmare of getting gunned down. Get him! Get him! Oh, you almost got him, dude. There.
Taken objective Alpha.
Yeah. But yeah, it's in the games I've actually managed to play without it crashing. This has been really so far. Here's something I'm not sure is new or not. There's like occasionally you'll just find random weapons strewn around that aren't from up as a new weapon.
It's just one of the game variations.
I guess that might just be something to do with
Can you tweak the volume down a little bit?
I certainly can. Oh, no. There you go.
Yeah, Philosophy's asking when we can get to playing some games. Things are gonna pick up once we all have the new consoles and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm slow. Like, I really suck at video editing, and I've got these 3 little videos I'm trying to package into a nice professional looking something, and it's slow going.
Yeah, I think we're going to get BRB Gamer Nights back up and running once the new consoles are out. Everyone's kicking around, and basically once the services start working like they're supposed to. As I said, I haven't got Party Chat to work at all on Xbox One yet. Oops, having to go at me. Anyway, I'm not going to spend all day in Battlefield 4, although it's nice to finally be in a match that isn't crashing.
I would really like to see. I don't know if everyone else is, but I'm curious to see what Killzone. Not Killzone. Wow, I'm reading the chat at the same time I'm talking. Killer Instinct looks like.
Well, I can show you some Killer Instinct. Once again, that game runs at 60, which is pleasant. Xbox, go to home. Alright, let's crack on over into Killer Instinct. So I haven't really done any online fights with this yet. I've just been doing the tutorial thing, and that's what I'll show right now. But it seems pretty solid. It is a solid beat-em-up from everything I know about beat-em-ups. And they really do go through an exhaustive tutorial process with you. It teaches you the basics of how to move, the ranges of various attacks, the best strategies for countering different high, low, and medium attacks. It's pretty good.
See, because I like back in the day, like I remember when the first Killer Instinct came out.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a big deal, and at the time, if you were into like there's still arcades, like there was always a line in front of Killer Instinct.
Yeah. I'm trying to get all of the volume down a bit here. There isn't a master, which is irritating. Okay, so I'm just going to bung into local play, and we'll go into just practice mode for the sake of that. So yeah, all characters are locked except for Jago, and by all accounts, he's the guy you want to play. And certain costumes are locked as well. You get a choice of 2 to start with. And this guy, from what I can gather, is essentially just... We'll go up against a random. Oh, I've ended up against myself. Wonderful. He's essentially just like Ken or Ryu from Street Fighter. He's just like the most versatile character.
Yeah. Your catch-all. He's the human option in a fantasy game.
Yeah. So you got your basic backs and forths. All of the attacks are attached to the face buttons plus the right bumper and right trigger. They're your heavy attacks.
Oh, look at that blood.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. He's got his special attacks, so let me see if I can remember him from the tutorial here. Yep. He's got one of them. He's got one of these.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Yep. And this thing here, which is like a long-range, well, medium-range kick.
Look at all the splash effects, though, from the different... Like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Like, it really does. It looks good.
If I go into... When you've built up these 2 blue meters at the bottom, as soon as you've got one available, you can use what's called a shadow version of a move, which basically I can do either this... Or I can opt to do this.
Nice.
Which is a much stronger version of the same move, and I think also adds more invincibility frames. And that's a weird thing. This game actually teaches you about, like, kind of fundamental game design in these kinds of games using invincibility frames. It's interesting.
That is cool. They're asking, how does the D-pad feel, and are you streaming with just the built-in Twitch?
I'm not streaming with the built-in Twitch, no. I don't think that's actually active in the console yet. I'm streaming through a capture card in my PC tower that I've plugged the Xbox directly into, and then through XSplit to Twitch. So the complicated way around is the short answer. As for the D-pad, yes, I am using the D-pad, and it feels lovely. It is... You can hear the click, maybe? I don't know if you can hear that on stream. But it is lovely and clicky. It is accurate to the nth degree. I've not had any problem with it whatsoever so far. Which is something you could never say about the D-pad on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's why all my fighters I got on the PS3 back in the day, and why the tournament scene has been one-sided. The scene will be better once there's 2 platforms. Although I'm really glad that a lot of the big fighters are starting to come to PC as well.
Yeah, well, specifically the Warner Brothers stuff seems to be making an effort towards it. Let's have a look at Dead Rising 3 now, shall we?
Alright.
This game's got a bit of an initial load time, but once you get past that initial load, there's no loading screens whatsoever.
So if you had to rate your initial impressions of the Xbox One on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
Initial impressions, I would have said, just for the console, not the software included on it, like the games, I would say I was on about a 6, maybe 7 out of 10 in terms of happiness. That's gone up a couple of points since. I've gotten used to some things. Like, I hated this controller when I first picked it up. The sticks, alright, let me go through this. The sticks are looser. Not quite to PS3 standards, but they're much looser sticks, and that took some getting used to. In Battlefield specifically, I've had to crank sensitivity down a bit just to try and compensate for that. The bumpers are... You can't use the bumpers in the same way I used to use them on the 360 controller. I used to put my fingers right across them, where I'd be able to get the same amount of pull on the bumpers no matter where I press them, inside or out. Now they are designed on this pad that you only really press them on the outside of the bumper, not the inside shoulder, which is really weird, because that's where the leverage comes from. It's a bit bizarre.
I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like when I get to hold the new PS4 controller, because I got to hold a Xbox One controller earlier, and I didn't really have a problem with it. It felt okay, but I mean I barely used it. I was basically slashing things in Rise and then crashing into walls in Forza.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been playing anything where the bumpers came into it that much, I imagine.
No, not really.
I automatically just went straight to my default and said, how's this going to help me with Dark Souls? And the bottom line, it would be an annoyance to play Dark Souls on this controller, because you use the bumpers all the time in Dark Souls for your shield and sword. So, unless they change it to triggers, like switch those ones around, I don't know, it's a bit odd. Triggers are really nice. That vibration thing they've got going on, the independent vibration in the triggers, is odd at first, but certainly not unenjoyable. This is my dude in Dead Rising, by the way.
I gotta say, the controller did feel, the rumble does feel really kind of cool in Forza, because they put a lot of intelligent design in how the rumble feels.
Yeah.
So like it actually helps you drive better.
So I'm just gonna run straight over to here and do what we gotta do. Get the best vehicle in the game.
Jesus.
And then just get
For real? Oh man, I hate zombies even if this is where they get shoots flames? What? Oh my god! Wow. Wow!
And thus ended the killing spree of Kev.
Oh wow, that's ridiculous, dude. So now they're gonna come for you, right?
I imagine so. What other...
I assume
what other weapons I've got on me.
So how dangerous are they right now? Not very.
The zombies?
Yeah.
Dangerous. They give quite a lot of damage, but they're easy enough to avoid.
Oh my god!
Wow, but look at how many, like, this is one of the things about the next generation. They're going to be able to fit so many more active NPCs in a single shot. Like, look at how many of them there are. That's ridiculous. And they're all individually animated. Look, like, although, how much repetition do you see in the zombies move? Because they look pretty varied. Oh! Oh!
What happened there? Go away, I don't want that. Options. I went to the help thing accidentally. Sorry, what was the question?
I was just asking, like, how much, like, when you're playing, like, how much variation in the appearance of the zombies are there? Like, are they reusing the same skin packs, like, over and over, or?
Oh, man, I have no idea. I haven't noticed that, but...
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
Alive long enough to notice, really.
Well, that's the thing. It's like one of those things where you can notice it immediately. So the fact that you haven't noticed it is good because right now they look pretty varied.
Yeah. All right, let's try and. I'll give you a just quick impression of where the map size is. So this is pretty much where you start in the game, and if you zoom all the way out, there are sort of. Oh god, I accidentally hit a thing. We'll come back to that in a sec. Right.
That is pretty big.
So there's kind of like 4 hub cities. Kind of like, I guess you'd call it a city block, I don't know. And they're all interconnected by the freeways, which you don't want to get stuck in the middle of a freeway in an ideal world. But yeah, it's a pretty big area. There's a lot of, like, one of the things I love about this next gen and the promise that it brings is the amount of, like, you know how in all these open world games there's always buildings that you can't go into?
Mm-hmm.
Virtually every building in this game you can just walk into, and it's got design stuff inside it. It's not necessarily anything important, but just the fact that you can walk into any old building that feels next gen to me in a really tight way. This is the experience board. As you get your PP points, you can start bundling up things like inventory that'll increase the amount of weapons you can carry, and everything's got a final upgrade where, for example, the inventory one gives you a mobile inventory, which is pretty sweet. There's like faster combo mechanic stuff and increased agility, extra sprint duration. Smarts gives you like extra XP and some other stuff like that.
See, this game...
XP. This bit up here, I'll let you finish in a sec, mate. This bit up here is like the upgrade system in this game. You're supposed to have 2 distinct weapons, and then the recipe for it, and then you will combine the 2. Xbox, unsnap. Xbox, unsnap. Get that out of the way. Yeah, so, where the hell was I? Here. Yeah, you find 2 distinct weapons and you meld them together into a combo weapon, which is awesome, but sometimes it's a nightmare finding those specific weapons. But what this upgrade does is just by putting a single point into, I don't know, axes, you can now use any axe-type weapon to make any of the axe combos. So you get to the point,
nice, dude.
You get to the point where you're like, oh, I need a garden pitchfork and a fire axe to make this weapon. But if I happen to have found, I don't know, a meat cleaver and a stick, I can now make that weapon out of just using those 2. You get the same result just because you've now unlocked the ability to use any version of those weapons, which just makes comboing on the fly way easier, and it's really good. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying before I got into that?
I was just saying that, you know, Dead Rising didn't get the really, really extremely high ratings, but everyone I've talked to, I haven't heard anyone say that they're not, you know, happy with it. You know, it's not may not be the best thing ever, but this is probably, like, Dead Rising and Forza seem to be the 2 games that you want to be playing on the Xbox One.
Oh yeah, Dead Rising is... I wouldn't go as far as to say Dead Rising is an excellent game, but it is stupidly fun.
But I mean, it's certainly it seems to be solid.
Yeah, it really is. It is one of those unfortunate things where it understandably only runs at 30 frames. There's so much going on in this world, though, you have to let them off. It's ridiculous. I mean, you saw just now the number of zombies that are around.
Yeah, man.
It's insane. And the vehicles... I will say that when you're in a vehicle, you do suffer some frame rate hitch. And, again, that's understandable with the amount going on. But that doesn't make it any less annoying. So, just for an example of the buildings thing, I can just straight up jump into this building. It's got an interior. It may not be extravagant, but it's nice that it's there, and you can use it as a shortcut to jump between some places. This one even has some boxing gloves in it, so I'm going to take those. Yeah, what up?
Yeah, I'm reading the comments. I think a lot of us, myself included, I want an Xbox One, but the launch hasn't done anything to make my plan of buying it in March with Titanfall less of a plan.
Yeah, I mean, I would say when you get one, look into Dead Rising 3 as a potential purchase, because it'll be cheaper by then, and it is just really solid fun.
Yeah, boxing gloves, ridiculous. The zombie apocalypse is here. Get my boxing gloves.
So if I can find a knife of some kind around here, I might be able to make one of the combo weapons.
I'm like watching you play with my head down, looking up just enough so I can see what's going on. Because, yeah.
I just noticed there's a change of clothes here, so I'm going to stick that on. Grab some health. I didn't find a combo weapon thing, but yeah, Dead Rising 3, great fun. I am having a really good time with it, and I think that is testament to the strength of the Xbox One launch titles, is that at least they've got one that you can have incredible fun with. Alright, let's get out of here. Does anyone want to see FIFA? I've never actually booted it up, but I installed it specifically for this.
I think if we had more UK folk, they'd be asking for FIFA.
Right. I'll tell you what I can show you instead is Xbox. Xbox. Go to friends. Alright. Dan actually uploaded a FIFA video that I really enjoyed watching, so I'm just going to show you quickly how you can go into your friends list and then find all of their DVR stuff. So I'm going to go to Captain Average, and then if you just pop over here, see he's been playing a lot of Power Star Golf, Battlefield 4 and Forza 5, things that I don't really have, well, other than Battlefield obviously. But over here he's got game clips. So I'm just going to go to his game clips. He's been getting a lot in the golf thing. I assume that's... Some game clips are automatically triggered. I haven't come across any of those myself yet, but I guess it does happen in the golf game. Where is he? Alright, Pig Bladderball. So I'll just play this now and show you what the...
Hello there, ladies and gents. This is me playing FIFA, and I don't often play Pig Bladderball, but when I do, I like to play with people in stripy shirts. Right, so there we go. He's kicked it to the chap who's approaching the net, and look at that! He scores a net point, and he's positively apoplectic with joy or something like that. Look, he's off to relieve himself on the corner flag and point out his thyroid gland. Nice.
But what Dan did with that one is he added commentary to it afterwards through the Kinect, I think, or maybe through the headset. But yeah, that's a really good example of how you just roll into your friends list and see what videos they've been making. And that'll all come up in your feed as well, in your activity feed. But yeah, it's... Man. The Xbox One is a really cool console. There's no getting around it. It has some issues with how it's all set out, definitely. But it is really cool. And when you can get Kinect to work, it makes it 10 times more usable. I don't know about whether I've had this disk drive option problem at the moment. You were saying earlier, Pac-Man, that there's a drive option with a lot of Xbox Ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Kinney in the chat is asking if I have any thoughts on Power Star Golf. It looks awesome. I haven't actually bought it yet, but it looks like Xbox's equivalent of Hot Shots Golf / Everybody's Golf that PSN's had for years. And if that's the case, then I may end up picking it up pretty soon.
I'm still not a golf fan.
I'm not a massive golf game fan, but those sort of cartoony ones that are really chilled out and arcadey, I'm perfectly happy to try those out. The one thing I will say about the store, while I'm thinking about it actually, is they've obviously given publishers the right to charge what they want at this point, and that means that it's a bit of a nightmare. So
really,
I will show you, for example... Oh, QR codes on this system, by the way. As long as you've got Kinect plugged in, best thing in the world. It takes less than a second for the Kinect to scan the code and take you to the store page. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, you can tell, for example, Dead Rising 3 costs, and I'm going to use UK currency here because that's where I am, but that costs £45. Battlefield 4 costs £55. I don't know how much Call of Duty costs, but I'm going to guess, because it's Activision, yeah, £55, as is Assassin's Creed. So thus far, those games that the publishers know people are going to pay out the arse for no matter what are charging £10 more than every other game. And I think that's gross. That is the downside of losing this standardization.
Yeah.
So yeah, how much is Forza 5? So yeah, Forza 5, massive series, owned by Microsoft. They're only charging 45. That's considered standard for next gen. So I don't know, man. I guess you're looking at about $70 to buy digital versions of those other games in the States, and I think that's absolutely disgusting. Damn,
dude. I hadn't realized the disparity was quite that big.
Yeah, it's gross, and I don't like it. Someone's asking if I could go into game saves. I don't really know what's going on with game saves, to be honest with you, man. It's all happening in the background. I have no idea where they're stored at all. I can have a quick look in here to see if there's some sort of hard drive settings, but where would it be? Let's try in the settings. I don't want display and sound. System?
Xbox, show engineers menu.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can't see saves anywhere. I can't even see how much hard drive space I've got, which is a bit odd.
I wonder how much they're going to charge for the proprietary hard drives this time.
Well, it's USB 3. You can plug any old USB 3 hard drive into it.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that's actually not so bad.
Yeah.
But wait, can you run your game stuff off of those hard drives?
Yes, you can, because USB 3. Obviously, I don't know how well that'll perform, but USB 3's got a pretty decent transfer rate. So hopefully it'll be okay.
Well, maybe I'll have to save up to get one of those hard drives along with my Xbox One in March, because I also saved up to get a new hard drive for my PS4, because I'm just not gonna have a 500 gig 5400 RPM, or is it 52 or 54? My brain's always messed up.
54.
5400 RPM.
Yeah. Everything I've heard about the PS4, by the way, so far is that the best option right now is to put in a hybrid drive.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just sort of waiting to see if there's gonna be I'm waiting for a deal.
Yeah. So,
I might even wait for Boxing Day or Black Friday.
Yeah, probably worth it. I thought I'd just show off Twitch for a sec. Obviously, you can't stream from your Xbox One 2 Twitch at the moment like you can on PS4. I would guess because they saw what PS4s were capable of doing with that and went, oh, we need to make sure we're as good as this before we launch.
Yeah.
Because the PS4 one looks really solid. So right now, you can still search through Twitch for whatever you want. You can have a look at popular games that are being played. So you can watch any old Twitch stream in here. I believe, if I could find one, you can even watch PlayStation 4 feeds on your Xbox One. Because this is next gen.
That is cool.
Yeah. Because it all runs through Twitch's primary servers. Oh, Dark Souls is on there. Let's quickly find a Dark Souls stream. What's going on? It's Souls Giving at the moment. Oh, Jeff Green is playing. That's always a good laugh. And that is really quick.
Should I do it? Oh, it
That is fast. That is really fast. I like
Should I do it? Oh, it disappeared.
Wow, look how quickly you got into that.
Well, fuck. Oh, no, that's still there. Okay. Sure. I will summon that phantom.
Jeff Green trying to make co-op work. Interesting. Anyway, that's Twitch. So, if you're into watching Twitch stuff, Xbox has you covered in that regard. Just don't want to be, if you want to stream, you're not so covered. Game found for you. Oh, I guess someone maybe on my friends list is playing Dead Rising 3? That's pretty cool.
That's nice.
That is essentially the Xbox One. Have you got any more questions? Chat, you cannot search by user in Twitch, from what I have seen. I have tried, and when you type in a user's name, it will come up with some of their videos, but it doesn't take you to their user page, which is absolutely irritating.
Bollocks!
Yeah. But, that's something they could always patch in at a later date.
Yeah, I expect to see the PS4 as well, but I expect Xbox's setup is going to change a lot in the next month or two.
Oh yeah, definitely. They've got some serious work to do with this front page, especially. But,
is the friends limit's 1,000 on Xbox, right?
I think that's right. Yeah.
But is it 2,000 on PS4?
Chat's saying 1,000. PS4 is definitely 2,000.
Whoop, whoop. And I realize not everyone's going to use that, but I've hated having to kick off people on my friends lists, just so I could get people into the parties over and over again every time I want to play.
Yeah.
Like 2,000 and 1,000, like that's a nice number.
Oh, and someone in chat is talking about the ability to start playing games while they're installing. I absolutely did that with Battlefield 4 yesterday. So when the game was only 14% installed, I could jump into the campaign and get going.
Nice, dude. That's sweet.
That was the same with FIFA, I think. So that was really cool to see. Any other questions from the chat or from Patman Polar Bear?
I don't know. I mean, we basically covered all the stuff I wanted to see.
Yeah, I don't want to delve too deep into the games right now. Obviously,
you don't have to show it, but how badly does Internet Explorer work?
It's not actually that terrible. Xbox. Go to Internet Explorer. Alright, give it a sec to load up. I decided to check out Giant Bomb while I was on here yesterday. But your right stick controls the uppy downiness of the screen, as you can see there. Your left stick has got this enormous cursor that rolls around. I don't know if that can be controlled with Kinect. It doesn't look like it. Otherwise, you would just press into here. Actually, that's not the one I want. I want that one. Open up new tabs and whatnot. Go down to URL. It's a pretty simple browser. Let's head over to BigRedRamble.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just curious because the browser on the PS3 and was always kind of blah.
Yeah, it's a similar design. Using the analog sticks to negotiate.
X videos.
I have turned all of the safe search stuff off, so if any of that is there, then that would be why.
We do make a damn good looking website. Look how pretty that is. Hey, look at my review. Read that review.
Which one? Which one are you talking about?
the Baldur's Gate review. That's like, I'm just my reviews are like reading War and Peace. They're pretty fucking.
You are quite the comprehensive reviewer.
But I reviewed 2 games at the same time, so.
Yeah, true.
It was actually short in that regard.
So here's Patman's review. I don't know if you can... Oh, I guess the triggers are zoom in and out, so that's cool. There we go, we can read it like this.
Well, like, I just want to say, I figured out a way to reference Van Gogh and Vanessa Williams in the first 2 paragraphs.
Awesome. Minsk. Anyway, yeah, that is the Xbox One.
Whoop whoop.
So I guess we'll call it a day there.
Yeah, that was a good recap. Next week we're going to do the PS4.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be a little more alive next week. I'm, as I said earlier, suffering from hangover and cold today, so a little bit of a nightmare. Yeah, sorry to those of you who are enjoying the stream, but we got to get ready for podcast, because Dave's going to be with us in about 15 minutes.
Yep, and it's going to be the Xbox show.
Certainly will be. And then next week will be PS4 show. I think there's talk about getting a certain special guest on for that, but
yep,
we need to iron out some details with that and then get back to you. But yeah, until next time, I will see you all later. For me
Stay
and
frosty,
Pat,
everybody.
catch you later.